pictures of all his friends.
Okay, now smile and say cheeseburger.
Hey everyone, it's Wildman, and in today's video we are going to be taking yet again another dive into some more disturbing YouTube videos that I found while scouring the internet. There's some pretty disturbing ones in here, so be prepared, and as always, viewer discretion is always advised. And if you do have any videos that you do want me to cover, feel free to send me a message over on Instagram. But real quick, I did want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Fume. Cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. And we're not talking about some crazy mind control from your girlfriend's mom. We're talking about our sponsor Fume, and they look at the problem in a very different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong, so instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air, and instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all-natural, delicious flavors. You get it, instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habits easy. It fills the void in a natural, guilt-free way. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers lots to do, which is helpful for de-stressing while breaking your habit. Base was launched in January. It's a weighted stand to rest your Fume on when it's not in use, with a magnet inside that keeps your Fume attached. The Fume device can be spun around on it, which is great for fidgeting. And Fume has been a long-time sponsor of the channel now, and I'm very happy to see how pleased I am with my Fume. It's perfectly balanced, weighted, and extremely fun for fidgeting. The flavors are also super nice. My favorite is crisp mint because of how fresh it feels. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com/wowman or scan the QR code and use code WOWMAN to get 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use code WOWMAN to save an additional 10% off on your order today. Okay, so getting straight into it, this first one takes something so nostalgic, and for a lot of us acted as a safe space to kick back and enjoy the best pastime, messing around in the Me Creator, and then, deleting people because they were mean to you at school. In this video called Wii Deleted You Re-Take by Vibing Leaf, it follows a kid named Kyle who just received a Wii for his 9th birthday. It's so cool, best birthday present ever. I want to start my own series of me playing my own Wii. It's gonna be so cool trying out new games. So I'm going to use this editor to put together my experience with this Wii. But already there is something off with the console that Kyle received for his birthday because there's already a Me created. Also, when Kyle first boots up the Wii, there is no introduction segment that would usually be followed when you boot up a brand new Wii, so it's most likely that this Wii that Kyle got for his birthday was purchased secondhand, which would make sense considering there's already a Me created. But the strangest thing happens after Kyle deletes the Me. Then once he's done making his new character, the Me is suddenly back, and after trying to delete it once again, this happens. And what's very disturbing is that the screen says, "The Me wants to speak," something that was obviously never a feature on the Wii. The Me speaks and says this: "We don't know you. How would you like it if I did the same to you?" The game crashes and Kyle is met with the access denied screen stating that your Wii has been disabled for suspicious activities. Power will be turned off in a few seconds. And the screen is, I'm assuming, something that would appear if you were trying to pirate a Nintendo game. So it kind of just bricks the console altogether to prevent any further tamperment of the system. However, in this case, it's doing the same thing because there's something messing with the code of the console, so it just shuts you out. However, Kyle handles this surprisingly well, saying, "I didn't even get to play any Wii games, and it kicked me out. I don't know about you, but this guy is really mean. Showed my dad about this, but he said he had no idea what this even is, and he will ask the shop. Today wasn't a good birthday, but regardless, I'm happy he even got me this gift." Update on my Wii. 10 days later, he forgot to ask the shop owner, but today I shall try opening it again. This time my friend Nathan is helping me. Nobody in my school believes me, and at one point I got called crazy. Nathan is the only one that came to help. Shout out to legend Nathan. Though we were kind of shocked, because when Kyle tries turning on the console again, to his amazement, this time it does turn on, and the piracy screen is gone as well. But what's odd is that all of the icons are missing, including the ones you can't even delete, like the weather channel, and I think even there was a pizza channel as well. But then the console slowly gets more corrupted the longer it's on. Nathan even leaving the house because he thinks that Kyle is playing some kind of twisted prank on him. I have put this Wii in my closet now to let it rot for years, for making me lose a friend over this. I'm sorry, I'm in a bad mood now. Take care, everyone. And so with that, 3 years pass with the console tucked away in Kyle's closet, never to be booted up again. But years do pass, Kyle is now 12, and out of sheer curiosity, he decides to boot it up once again. However, after turning it on and opening the messages, we can see one sent by the me, containing a link to a file that allows him to speak. However, after booting up this strange file, it ends up breaking the console again, and now it won't even turn on. Kyle saying, "I forgive the me. I wish to talk with it again, but it ruined the console. I may take it to someone who can repair it. Someday though, I am still moving out, but honestly no idea what's going on." Alright, so this next video is called Aftermath, which starts off with a man crying, followed by a car swerving. Then we're shown this face with the following points: consistent symptoms, mummified features, brainstem trauma, disheveled surroundings, no sign of attacker. I don't believe in ghosts. Found at the scene were a leather-bound journal. Most recent entries are indicative of manic behavior. This is the work of a madman. A watcher has summoned me. I'm scared. I don't think I remember who I am. And after this bit of dialogue, things are pretty unclear as to what is even happening here. However, it starts to make a little bit more sense once we're introduced to this person, who is reporting a constant migraine and not wanting to go to sleep, despite needing to in order to hold on to their sanity.
Been hearing some news about people like me. I don't know if I want them to be like me or not. It wasn't a dream. Scaly, inhuman with a human form. I thought I was part of some harvest. I only felt the fear when I woke up.
Further sketches and drawings were found in the victim's journal, most of which accompanied by a short description or comment. Teacher. He tells me I know more than I think. Do I deserve what he has bestowed upon me? Judgment. I don't believe in ghosts. 3 days prior to incident, victim attempted to contact Roger de Dwellier, chair of the National Establishment of Wellness. Within this letter from Robert Castro, who is the person whose journal we've been reading this entire time, he writes an email to an individual named Roger de Dwellier, with the subject being, I need to meet Samantha. It says, Hello, sir. You may characterize me as insane, but I know what you are hiding. My concern is that you cannot grasp what you know. You cannot. Take me to see Samantha. I'm not sure how much time we have left. Regards, and take heed. Roger Castro. And again, this entire tape is focused around trying to figure out what happened to Roger, as he's classified as the victim of this tape. So after finding this email, authorities had to question Mr. de Dwellier, but he responds by saying that he has no knowledge of what the victim was even talking about, and the video ending with the same thing that started things off, with Roger Castro sobbing. Okay, for this next one, it was inspired by a YouTube video that came out about 16 years ago now, called I Have the Body of a Pig, which many of you are probably unfamiliar with since the video did come out a while ago, but we will go into more detail about that original video after we cover the reimagined version by Beyond Birth. In this video, it states, this EVP was recorded during my work with a group I am no longer legally entitled to name nor claimant association with. There is a faint voice heard in the background, and with the enhanced version, the voice becomes that much more apparent.
I have the body of a pig.
No one had heard these sounds at the time. It was only after I watched the footage that it became apparent. Along with the sound, a photo taken at the moment is truly horrifying. So this video, like I mentioned earlier, was inspired by a video that came out back in 2007, with the same prompt that there is a person exploring with a group that they're no longer legally associated with. And in the video, they do seem to be exploring this underground subway system. And it's then where we do hear the voice.
I'm just looking coming through the old book, there might be a body in there. Well, I'm trying with them too. East what? Subway, East Wing. Get him. Get him. Jesus, look at that, mate. It's exactly like the one over there, look.
Mistake. However, again, like the video, none of them heard the voice when it happened, although they were able to take a photograph of the inside of this tunnel, which captured this image. Now, this video was debunked by Scare Theater a while back by the fact that this channel has made tons of horror videos like this before that were trying to pass off as being real, but this was the most successful of the bunch. Also, another thing to disprove this is that when they take the picture of the entity, when you slow down the footage, you can see the exact moment when they supposedly took the picture. However, if you freeze the frame at the exact moment, you can see that the creature is just not there. But aside from this entire video just being a ruse, for some reason it's still incredibly creepy to me, and whenever it does pop up on my recommended feed, I always watch it and it just always freaks me out. Just the thought of finding a creature like this while exploring an underground subway system is still just a very terrifying concept. This next one is called Failed Experiment, which begins by stating La Biblioteca de Campo Freudiano de Granada presenta, which does mean the Library of Freudian Field in Granada, which is already something that we can look into. The Freudian Field Foundation was created by Jacques Lacan in February 1979. The foundation is open to all of those throughout the world, known or unknown, devote themselves to Lacan's teachings, and try to pursue this engagement in their own countries, languages, and cultures. This melting pot has given rise to 7 schools of Freudian field, which along with the École de la Cause Freudienne now belong to the World Association of Psychoanalysis. And you may be wondering who Jacques Lacan is. If you know, props to you. He was a French psychologist who many would even call the French Freud, as he did attempt to expand on a lot of Freudian theories as well. His teachings and writings explore the significance of Freud's discovery of the unconscious both within the theory and practice of analysis itself, as well as in connection with a wide range of other disciplines, particularly for those interested in the philosophical dimensions of Freudian thought. In simple terms, Sigmund Freud's theory suggests that human behavior is influenced by unconscious memories, thoughts, and urges. Then we are shown a Jacques Alan Miller, who was also one of the founding members of the School of Freudian Cause, so he is connected to this entire thing. So this analog horror does follow a fictional version, of Alain Miller, who is attempting to conduct a psychological experiment that is pretty dubious. It says that there is a conference that happened in Madrasa on November 24th, 1989. Lucia A 32-year-old Spanish citizen, volunteered for Professor Miller's project. She underwent experimentation with the initial prototypes of the real visualization machine. Lucia was placed inside this RSI field generation drum, and then the drum begins to spin inside at such a speed that it manages to enter the reel. Recording of this experiment was presented at the conference. In the recording, we see Miller speaking to Lucia, who is already hooked up to the machine. He asks her if she's ready, upon which she complies, and the experiment commences.
Dis-moi si tu es prêt. La machine a été allumée. Tu devras attendre quelques minutes jusqu'à ce que le générateur soit en fonctionnement optimal. N'oublie pas que tu peux demander à être sauvé des visions du réel quand tu le juges nécessaire. C'est d'accord?
Miller stating it may take up to a few minutes until the generator is up and ready, then adding that she can even request to be rescued from the visions of the real, which at this point I'm pretty sure many of you are wondering what the real actually is. Well, the real was one of Jacques Lacan's theories. It stated that Lacan's numerous and shifting pronunciations apropos the real are themselves partly responsible for this absence of straightforwardness, but rather than being just a barrier to grasping the real, this absence is itself revelatory of this register, to be more precise, as that which is foreign to imaginary symbolic reality. This reality is the realm containing conscious apprehension, communicable significance, and the real is intrinsically elusive, resisting by nature capture in the comprehensively meaningful formulations of constitutions of imaginary symbolic signs. It is, as Lacan stresses again and again, an impossibility vis-a-vis reality. So this is a lot to digest. It took me a couple times to read that actually. But in essence, the real is this impossible reality. So it seems like during this experiment, they are trying to get Lucia to reach this impossible state of existence, given the complete lack of awareness she has while hooked up to the machine. As the experiment continues, Lucia has seemingly reached the real. I distinguish some figures, but they are dark. The place is strange. I would describe it as a place where everything is upside down. Also, I see a figure with no facial features, stained with a substance I couldn't describe. It's looking at me, and I would say it's identical to you. It reminds me a lot of you. And Miller is completely ecstatic with this discovery because to him, Lucia has reached the real and his experiment was a success. However, what is scary is that at this point he seems to show no concern for Lucia's safety, as he does keep her inside of the machine and prompts her to tell him more about what she sees in the real.
Est-ce que cette figure effectue des actions similaires aux miennes? Parfait. Raconte-moi la suite.
And things do not continue with the same level of sanity as things were when the experiment began. Because Lucia claims there is a horrendous heat on her face, it's starting to burn.
As-tu besoin qu'on te sorte de là?
But yeah, I really did enjoy this one. It's really interesting to me when pieces of media do mix history with fiction in this way. It's super fascinating. So this next video is rather unorthodox. It's centered around the show Spongebob, which is a show that for a lot of us is extremely memorable for being a fun and amazing show. However, if you have been with this channel for a while now, we have seen Spongebob in tons of unsettling adaptations, most recently with the bootleg Spongebob episode. And I will have a link to that video in the description if you are interested. However, this time around, we're introduced to a video called The Fog is Coming, in which SpongeBob, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs are all dancing in celebration. And this is taken from the episode Clams, where Mr. Krabs loses his $1 millionth to a clam who swallows it, vowing that they won't leave the boat until he gets it back. And so SpongeBob and Squidward try to trick him with an ordinary dollar, hence their celebration alongside Mr. Krabs. But in the video, the trio slowly becomes more distorted, and the background that accompanies SpongeBob and Squidward looks like Times Square in New York City. Shortly after, an atomic bomb goes off in the background, to which the video glitches out even more. However, the creepiest part of this video is that in a single frame, there is this message which states, "The fog is coming, June 25th, 2026. 8:52 p.m. Stay indoors for as long as possible. If you hear knocking, screaming, cries for help, or children crying, do not answer. Prepare. This is your only warning." And this seems more so like a warning of a nuclear fallout, the fog being the burst of radiation coming from the explosion of the bomb. And while we are on topic of the fog is coming, there's also this other video on the same topic that I did want to include here, kind of as a bonus video. It features an old commercial stating Ronald McDonald, the company's mascot, which first debuted in 1963, with his full name being Ronald McDonald, the Hamburger Happy Clown. In the video, Ronald is preparing to take a picture of his friend, the hamburger. However, this is interrupted by a broadcast stating the fog is coming, followed by this.
Now smile and say cheeseburger. Now smile and say cheeseburger.
But yeah, tons of videos about fog coming to kill you, which is kind of scary since I live in an area where there's tons of fog when it gets cold, so not fun. But yeah, that pretty much does it. Please let me know which one of these videos freaked you out the most. I'd love to know. And if you have any suggestions for videos, message me over on Instagram. Also, huge thank you to my channel members and my ultimate tiers as always. Kareem Adayano, Dreadator, Alejandra from the Tower, K-Pop Lover X3, and Knight98. If you want early access to videos and your name right here, it's only $1.99. But yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's always super great. Your time is super valuable, so I really do appreciate you spending it with me. But yeah, see you later. Bye. Love you.